Ekioge Kenya. Ekioge gotiria Ekioge Kenya.
Mugusiana cia soberete gongonya na kumongo kwarigania sumuru birwiri tukirigaria ale rasenyege nete butambe ng'Ekioge ni kigotiria Ekioge na namenya kwira ngakaroke no nyamuntu karenge gwana kendo riti gakwa nange bintange bitatu bira nyara ko babikunyurwa sama tukara mutu gose singa gikiri umuntu akora bintu binde biri byose rero ngo chikunya ko bango kwana no munyaruka timu manyiti lakini gona arorire bintu bya online nanya kumwomera mbone kana marorire lakini munyaruko yakoro kunga Scholastica Moraa nari gite bitabu tawali gete ne binge sana munyaruko kunga Scholastica Moraa ne rorigete bitawali gete ne obire binge timati goseke ne kiae kendo chinga nkeri kiae maybe koro kende gento ngira gakorete kiagara togochaga iga ebitabu ali gete gaiga nigo bire binge kene gitabu kiae ndo chikikali kirase kene Faransa gosene Italian akora abantu bagiyonjere to munwa aya tokogende bitabu ali gete nigo bire binge na nere togochukira kabato ko gosori kumanya ngwanya ko umunyero ko kunga Scholastica Moraa tima iti gose TikTok na mo le bitabu biaye gose Facebook kene gitabu kende kiaye ali gete pakera approved by KICD.
Yes.
Kene gitabu kende Dreams Demons korangane ya anthology ali gete gaiga kene gakali gete When Love Says Goodbye tima itingi kia betabu dubate kende ga Beautiful Mess nero korali gete bitabu binge sana kende Amina's Air and Other Stories, Omari the Dance and Other Stories, Kibeti's Truth and Other Stories, Amazing Rewards and Other Stories, The Treasures of Mombasa and Other Stories. Wene rende ya studio. Ne wangete vitabu wanachora. Bioli.
Mbiandi.
Tevangu. Scholastica Moraa ningu.
Scholastica Moraa no muswati kuruboge tutu. She's a mother, a sister, a daughter. Nenda antite vitabu sana. Antite ko bisoma na ko birika.
Bugitutu yarali.
Kitutu Masaba.
Arali.
Magombo.
Magombo arali.
Nyamanagu village.
Nyamanagu ngejere ko chiyere nsema yage kano mate. Gosere njere yakanda kenyerere.
Gosere
kana nyambali. Gosere ko chitombe.
Tombe kuchime buno muntu kaenda sengere miririka.
Kuchimiriri. Sawa ndaba kubugicingera bagatadanga miriri.
Bona.
Akimbi yole. Bona igona oyibolere gali.
Ngibolere Nyamanagu.
Abiboli baombaro?
No bali.
Igona abaje kulili amangana bari no kwana.
Bona.
Ngibango mina koro kada tumina kya koro.
Mama koro ku Francisca Musinya mbaba na tata koro ku Robert Mirera.
Musinya na kuru so Delvin Musinya.
Aya.
Usibade na tele na miriri songa. Abantu ku miriri batele Delvin Musinya. Timaiti musibade kidi mama terete sana. Ku Delvin Musinya.
Nabora nyoro go irimboro.
Okay. Mino na manene.
Nincho manene imbwate batatu bande bakumbwati.
Okay. Nisoma school ya primary.
Nkaenda ngasoma Nyaguku primary kidogo ngarororo nkaenda Keronde class 4 nkaenda Victoria Academy ngakora 2010 kuru Victory ere Galitombe ngagenda Ngia Girls High School ere Siaya ngakora 2014 ngajoin Jaramogi University ngakora Actuarial Science and Technology ngakora 2019 ngajoin Mount Kenya University Masters in Strategic Management na kore to mwako.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Atemire sana. Igo amasoma ago somete primary na secondary ngusi somete.
No, primary tu
primary yoka.
Secondary esawa wajaluo.
Kagana
university na robogere bado.
Okay. Lakini mwana korate degree ya korate ya first degree korate second degree.
Actuarial Science and Technology.
And then ukamoja Masters in Strategic
Management.
Iwana mangani bitaba kuru.
Nyolete.
Egera jena ire tenga. Gerongo kora ngingire to kwarte ide literature.
Mama nera kaitenga kerongo kora form 4 and everything your English is so good. Koru primary mpaka secondary you had like a plain A. Njo toka ndo somero bwalimu Ono mwalimu ngachikorigereri kanyoromete riri gwakorire secondary mokoboka egetuko mwarari egetuko ngateba nchikuba mwalimu nchikuboka egetuko iga yaya tiga ngende ngore egento eking'ao.
Kwani momi no mwalimu orenge?
Yaya abari bane n'abalimi.
Abalimi? Na ibonero songo ikirurete ekiyai?
Sokoro yana n'omwalimu orenge. Nende nanchite ebitabu sana. Omanyete kero ore omwana yaani bono buna kero ore ase village onyora source of entertainment teyo mono mobwati TV none ready ntwabwate lakini bono ase eng'encho sokoro n'omwalimu orenge na anko yane naronera ore omwalimu bono konyora chingaseti nochire ebitabu nobire bono nkanyora yani nkona kobisoma ndi yani I'm interested in stories, they are very entertaining lakini korika koroku na maite ng'akani ndike lakini na maite ng'akero my retirement plan no korike bitabu I write my life story lakini nkanyora keronde ngochikokora form 4 iga ngachaka nkarika poetry kero my friends na classmates bagosoma bakateba yani you can write realize kumbe it is possible and I can do it now.
Wane kitabu kyo oligete kitabu nkiriki and then did
litangane karo na ligete tu yarenge a story nerere ga igese kitabu kia I'm listening a story koro 6 days to 20 bono 6 days to 20 it's the name of the story bono mwalimu one o English okoru primary na aroche ngama English is good koru kale bono didi around 2021 we are still in touch akoro ku Mr. Jaffet akanta there is this writing competition why don't you submit something
ile irenga
in 2021 konyora na akodre my first degree bono narenge very sure but akana go insist uli submit umwali ngata sini submit tu ndio asiendelee kuniuliza nika submit surprise.
So you submitted what, a story
yes 6 days to 20 kana
submit kwa nyerigete ili oskonyo kwa nyerigete kale
na nyerigete nari ngomoto ngayeto marende gochibe kwerende inaitwa Kendeka Prize for African Literature ekaba longlisted for the prize but it didn't win lakini bwana it was like an affirmation like you can write you know kuna judges out there abantu batako maeti but they have read your work and they have seen that it is good so the second year in 2022 nga submit naende to the same prize a story ya nkoro ku chained ese gitabu ekebon now that one won the award bono korueli naende konyora na chakire ngona korika poetry naye post kwa status umusani onoyomo agantebinga ichipoemu echikwali kire ndoche ngachiabire chinyinge sinikusaidie to compile you publish kero naerenkana koba hesitant omete sometimes okona weteba hata nasomerete hata isi kitu yenye nataka kufanya saa hii lakini bono senge nchoko nyora hiyo that pressure from mtu wako close na wewe nkamutomera chipoemu echo agachicompile kerachi compile chikabe gitabu ekigekoro ku Beautiful Mess
tutaragenda sege kia Beautiful Mess eke kara kwa wine tingi kwa etu
100,000 nene ngaba published yeah
na go publish to ruche tuko tumekana ne shilingi marabo kabanya
tumeti no nabuba publish
bona gina kegarete ogacha kuri kegetabe gekende koro kwanga the Beautiful Mess
yes yeah
eke
it's just a collection of poems yes
kwani mashahidi kulikani gari yore ndoki
mostly about life figuring out things the more you grow you are experiencing a lot of things so poetry is my way of expressing the things I experience I feel the things people close to me go through njengwa having a poetry are my stories in short form lakini bono my stories ni zile poems na sinyetuko compress into a poem they were too long the feelings was the experience was so complex bono ngaibeka into a story.
How clean is a clean break? What are you talking about?
Now that's a poem I think about breakups so sometimes you break up with someone, but how clean is the break? Do you walk away from someone forever? Ama do you keep going back? Ama, yeah, something like that.
I want to hear my voice.
I want to hear my voice. Nelinga, umetekero, when you, as a human being living in a society, abantu abange bagukwana to you. Na ubago tebinga gendo bu mwalimu, gendo bu munyagitari, gendo okole ekega, obwena tokobaiga, obwena tokobaiga. Lakini imeao, what is coming out? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Who do you want to be?
Wow. Yo kurusia mangano kuri kebinde.
Ako ngichera tu randomly. Nabona ali kutaraiga na nyora na chakiri kolike gento. And then the funny thing, sometimes I forget what I wrote. Kwama konyora at some point, umuntu nabara post a page of a poem, na someone go like, this poem is so good. This poem is so familiar. And go, oh, this is my poem. Yeah, it came, the emotion came at that moment. I wrote about it and I moved on.
So what are you thinking right now? What are you writing right now in your head?
Sai, it's a blank slate. Sometimes it's a trigger. Nabora kwane gento, it triggers a whole poem. Nabora kwane to just one line. It's Ekioge. Now that line, it can trigger a whole poem. I will think about it and I'm like, yes, that is true. And then I find myself writing about something. Or, it's something that is happening. Those horror stories. We actually wrote a book about it. Some like authors in Kenya came together. The book is coming out. Inaitwa Wreaths of Shakahola. So you find inspiration from what happened in Shakahola.
So do you have like specific triggers? How many are they?
Sometimes I don't even know when they are going to come. Sometimes it is like if I feel strongly about something, I find myself writing about it. I can go 3 months without writing anything, but I'm never worried. Writing yes, yes. When Love Says Goodbye, I think I wrote around 130 poems in a span of 3 months.
What exactly?
Yeah, okay, not really. But it was a project we agreed to work on with one of my friends. So the target was, let's write 100 poems within this period. So again, togo korankeringa. Nabonda chake kurikabona iga, but what I'm writing about, tera koreka ne period iga. I'm tapping from a remembered feeling. Yani nko inyora na arika.
Wanike kwa ningo kwana?
When Love Says Goodbye is a lot, chipo mchirororo, chiko talk about a lot of things. Kuna breakup, kuna moving on, kuna healing, finding yourself. Yes.
Scholastica kwa makara kana umuntu kwedere binda sobugi.
Ometeri tkondo na chete interview no mumuragete. Kale, tinginyorete, I think ilikuwa 2020 before corona ianze. Bono tikara stener hata timu nyorete rieta lakini nyorete gentante vet. Ilikuwa fashion house tukaenda bono interview. Bono before oyo interview tukaikaransa tuko na kugamba. Bono kumute story chinyinge. Afa akamana komboli. Kwani miaka nirengo bwate. In 2020 I was around 23, I think. Ngamate I'm 22, 23 na 23 kwani umepitia maisha gani? Like you have so many things. But the truth is, in a day, a lot of things happen to you. You go through a lot of emotions. You meet a lot of people. And sometimes you just take their stories. Umeto montonaro, especially abantu abare empaths, okomote ye story yamo depress. Na mimi, I don't allow people's things, ama stories, to depress me. I put them on paper. So, chi story chinde, chi poem chinde, they are not mine. They are feelings, experiences of people who are close to me. na kibago teba kerole no moriki you should be very careful singa ntona bara akobeke sekita
belenge kwa bekira
abangi
onye kobeke boyfriend yao aiga
yes
ngire kyomo bigote
when love says goodbye and I think beautiful mess in poetry poetry is a very emotional
ono
way of
maro nya
expression.
kumanyanga lero yo bigete nyamone kiraro kire kara disa nero kakalite
No, that is me. Like when my books come out.
Gara kanyara treko choke treko somo monyonero wotitora ga wotitora woka.
Ngo sobali lakini I'm what I appreciate about him na no muntu tariko on limit. Like mwetu muntu naro dawa tebinde byokulika tinteti ukoli ulike about our lives and everything. But as an artist you can't live or work with mtu kama huyo.
Kwa hili kile ngori yabo iboli bao.
Yes,
best friend.
my grandfather who died, I wrote something about him in Beautiful Mess. Yes, I write.
Okay.
Yes.
Bueno, kwa ngori bitayo ukobera gukurikana harari what different publishers nara wara ndoche mvua na rekende story moja.
Longhorn story moja,
yes.
Onexgla.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why are you ngiyoka olega?
Ometekerana chage tukolika, especially the only book I self-published was Beautiful Mess. As a writer in Kenya, not many publishers will take your work. Na boko batomerega asbabere nero for years. Na incheba nakaona aligete Beautiful Mess, kero bono umo sanu yona convincing ni compile poems and everything. Now I was ready to put them out there. Actually now I published it right before elections and I was in a hurry. Ngetebinga Kenya bunereiga elections ichina bachirabe tumaitige ntoge gochikokorekana. We may have violence, something may happen, I may even die, but I want my voice to be out there. I want this book to be out there. Esengenjo abantu mbarororo ndatake to experience this book. And I published it by myself. Hiyo siku ituma iti kwa publisher enda angalia decide if they want to publish it or not. Ngai publish. But after that, publishers started coming to me. Wanakuambia, we want you to write about this. We want you to work on this. Do you have poems on this? We want to publish them. That's how the rest came about actually.
History yao chingo okulike chire. Nchiwatu bumayane lakini mwana kwaburuka ni fiction.
Yes.
Onyawe ikasa kita okulike inspirational books.
Inspirational ngona gwetebinga nichendike. Bado tindalika. Ngona gwetebinga nichendike.
Utaranyara muntu usumu. Egera na eji poem jiro mwalimu usugume. Ebinde byose bigende ngeli kwanya wanja wakora. Ari ndiye ndo wacha kanyara ngente gyanchiro.
Ire na takayaranga gyanchiro.
Ndocho ligete bitawe binge sana egana is it there is long on ligete bitabu abire birenga bibere
bya Longhorn
ne bine mbira yabikoro kunga is it on Exla?
Onexgla publishers.
Yes.
Mostly they publish and they sell Bibles, but baigete ngakiketela this year I think waka deciding we want to write children literature but to teach Christian values to children. So that was what the project was about. Wanongalike via grade 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kanyara kuruga bitawe bingi kanyara kule.
Publishers eba workana differently. Bono buna Onexgla eba ku workana once everything. But nende ebibinde na bako koneli at a very good discount for you to resell if you want.
Bono you minute aba ayego wakana chibesa ukabatigera.
Banga kanite.
Banyakona bakoni.
Yeah.
Aya kugojicha barabu ba Longhorn.
Ba Longhorn bone bako workana in royalties.
Una bakoni.
A certain percentage bago
bitamu gwakana biri.
Bona gati ngote inga nse gotiga gokorega asi osendi gokora hustles chinde ni menyere writing terangi kiao, but I hope someday italipa ina.
Ayo manyana ko ndora sikwa ni bitabu byao.
I used to, lakini bona igamnango work na publishers, they do all the work. Nse nikikuja mostly I just do book signing.
Leza ko bakaro kendo muntu unabona nalengewe bana batama tangi betu ko bitabu. Ukwara waronya ko byo.
Bane go depending gitabu kyo bwate. Mostly okonyora birimbwate bike ngo byoni byonsi nende nachikona koliki. Lakini bono mbira available in various bookshops.
Ekero okogenda kero kengo na kwalinga event. Ndege tojine bitabu on. Kwa barocha kon. Gusaba uko anaya ba uko oneli.
No, bono kero ngoenda event depending rende ne event ya aina gani na abantu bakocha koboro ni aina gani. I just talk to my publisher, wanaenda, wana set up table and everything.
Baoni bamocha okwire ndi bamocha okwebese yao.
Yeah. Bono there are advantages na disadvantages choko ba self-published na choko ba traditionally published. Yeah.
Can you talk about them?
Kerole self-published, eminatinga nayo kucha wakoliki chibes chonsi, choko kora editing, designing yegetabu, printing and everything. You have all the rights to the book. Nayo chibwate. But nende eminatinga nayo koni. Nayo kori yenchero ko vira chi bookshops, nayo kori yenchero ko distribute, lakini chibes chonsi yoko an ni chiao. But it's a lot of work. Nayo ko market 100%. Kerole traditionally published, nabo buba onexgla publishers abaga ibitabu ya grade 2 na bako waka na once off hajogenda na maisha yao baoni na bataoni barikave na recover wewe ulishalipwa yako nenda bande mbaro abu bande bako kwa royalties the more they sell the more you get lakini meaning events chikoba book festivals you want your books in certain bookshops wata make sure ziko huko watazipeleka na buba go struggle mtu ana make orders na buba ko make sure they are shipped. Yeah,
lakini kwa makoranga matuka ya kwali kile bitabu ya go prefer kile publisher or
yes, because now it allows you to write. Unajua most creatives and most authors unapatanga they are very introverted. No muntu go prefer karanse kona you get to observe everything and write about it. Very vocal and extroverted. Yeah, so most authors, some of them, they actually prefer someone does all the work. Writing is just a small percentage of the work. Okonyorega say you know when the go around that 4 editors. Alafu it's very expensive producing a good quality book. Esengencho editor naro gocha wetere story you arigereringa is there a story here. A plot yembiyeri. Ama we need to do a lot of, you know, nenaro gochari grammar is has a lot of problems. Naro bono ogo mambaro bago chakosomo mweli batebenga this is ready. Bono you need like around 4 people goitere gitabu ekyo bagi approve for printing. Naro gocha bono a designer ngochari. Ali arosie cover buya. They're very appealing and everything. Ime layout I make sure nga gitabu kenke bangire buja si overlapping ya this poem and this chapter and this yeah nende printing nerororo goikoende nende origereri quality of paper the font size I make sure nga mbiyere yeah it's a lot
kunya weka segeto langalinga kangango akolete is we call it English literature or say literature in English kuba kwa ndao actuarial science
yeah but umete you can still study it. Ngo etebinga bona ikingo taka my next degree ama masters ama if I want to do something up to PhD itakuwa along the lines of creative writing yeah or literature.
Actuarial science nki yao konyere.
Actuarial science mostly I think in say number 1 ngo etebinga kerona chete Jaramogi I may not have applied 100% what I was taught uko, but mostly ngona umiranite nere. What experiences did I have there? Ngo believe nga Nyasaye ga ukobeka kira esa ukobeka there's something you are going to learn there. There are people you are going to meet there. Abantu mbaro kumirana na baro bugabo bagucha kugokonya ama gucha kubakonya 10 years later. Yeah, so I don't regret having done actuarial science. Alafu sometimes the lessons I learned from actuarial science with probabilities, statistics and everything else, I can apply them anywhere.
Wanangio kora weta nyokulika?
Weta nyokulika. Bona iga tebe masoma na raya poziri yake. I'm an executive assistant.
What do you mean?
an assistant no muntu okokonya someone to do everything, planning, scheduling meetings and all that.
You know what a specific person you're doing that? So
Yes, I work with someone mwenye nafanyanga hizo.
Okay.
Yeah. It is a job I took after I used to work with IBC for around 1 year. Then I took that job, but I like it because it allows me to do other things. I can attend events to do with writing. I can write books. Yeah, I can travel for literary festivals and all that. It's a very flexible job. Yeah.
Ono nkyubwate kuchimutua nkyude gukora yute kugenda kulika yute kwenda gukora ibintu biko na actuarial science ngwagenda gukora masters in strategic leadership yute kwenda kuburi oborai yute kwenda kwigiri oborai as in Scholastica Moraa itokorra samatukari mutua
Samatukari mutu egentondo sure mogo chakorara. There'll be more books. I can't run away from writing. Stories will always find me. Poetry will always find me. Yeah, that is one thing I'm sure of. But the rest, I'm not sure. I don't know what the future holds for me. Yeah, but I hope I'm going to apply to be in a position to apply my skills in strategic management, in actuarial science, my writing skills. Yeah.
Abantu abange bali batabanga ibintu by'ukulikanse Kenya abantu batagete ibintu byakulika abantu bali gasoma kwanza kuri ibintu bya internet byajira abantu bamende gisima banya guscroll galiyo kambata tikasoma anya to muntu ndaga tagete muntu oli serious abantu batagete cheche abantu batagete cheche batagete ibintu bire abakenya babate culture yo gusoma ibintu byongo bitabya okulika abantu ngbara bakasoma
Umaetekero gweta streets ya Nairobi okonyora so many booksellers babwate pirated copies abangi sana nende ngo ebitabu ebimba bibangete streets kera ituko ke wiki kero mwaka ngo bakone umuntu ama ngo kone umwaka mugima nkoni ali bitabu umuntu oyo mukwaro choko ni bitabu gawe street wona iga babere batano ti bookshops nchirasieko
abantu basoma bali bitabu
ne bitabu abandishi wanaendelea kupublish.
Kwa hiyo kuli kumanyanga nkia bakenya bagasoma bitabu ki you know what the different genres of books
The readers are very different. Personally, I'm a reader. Each year inajekanga target ya 100 books. But
wait a minute, you read 100 books in a year?
The only time I managed to hit the target was 2020 when we were just at home.
So you read 100?
I read 100. This year I'm on my 61st, so I know I'm not going to make it. But one of the reasons why I won't make it is because I'm spending maybe a lot of time on social media. And you realize, after scrolling the whole day, actually if you tell your phone to tell you how much time you spent on social media, unaweza jihurumia sana. Na mtu akikuuliza what you learned, especially if you are not following serious people, uta realize you wasted.
Rumbo bisoma kongo bwe bitabu na social media.
Social media, ama your phone actually. I think you can scroll aimlessly siku mzima. Nende umete social media, it's not a bad tool. Lakini if you're not selling anything there, ama you are not learning anything, you are wasting time. Na bogo sakali tukoli igima, but it didn't help you. You didn't earn anything. You didn't learn anything. If you are not enjoying anything yokolika, trust me, no reader nerega uchikosoma ta wenjo. Yeah. Onya, maybe you are an engineer and you want to share about engineering and you are passionate about that, write about that. Yeah.
Maye montaka nyari bitabu yao.
Ebitabu ya na we go to Kanuria bookshop at Bazam. When Love Says Goodbye na veo ko Kenyora Joseph Vike.
Yes, that's my good friend. Josephine.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, Somanami bookshop ikonazo, Kibanga Books, Prestige bookshop ziko hapo. Na Half Priced bookshop, yeah.
Kwa nyakanya kera very interesting kero monda so metega kya kulikira.
Mostly I find especially your book yangu ya Beautiful Mess, actually all of them, I find your Beautiful Mess and When Love Says Goodbye, I find people wananipigia simu ama they send messages wananiambia thank you for writing that book. I used to feel that way ama I had that experience, but tina bwate nchira yogu express myself, and it is so, I feel so grateful to have found it being expressed that way. Umaitenjira nere sometimes ogo feel so confused and so conflicted and so sad, maybe hata somehow depressed, but umuntu nakubolinga how do you feel? Ani njira nere ngiwete lakini I can't express myself. But sometimes you find someone who has written something that you relate with 100% so perfectly, and you are like, oh wow, this is how I felt. And sometimes you feel good that there's someone out there who felt the same way. Actually, I have this therapist. She's in India. She got a copy of When Love Says Goodbye when my publisher was there for I think the Sharjah book fair. She called me. Actually, we still talk. Na ananiambia, I recommend my book to, like I recommend When Love Says Goodbye to my patients because it's so therapeutic. Inasaidia someone to process their feelings, and that is why I love the book.
Watemira kolengere kokora ebitabo bya because it's poetry. Ubikore into audiobooks.
They are actually available as audiobooks.
Na mwenye nasomete?
Yeah. And
Kwale tomo asoma.
Yeah, the publisher paid someone to produce it as an audiobook.
Why did you want to do that? Ayo mwenye?
Actually, I could have done it, but I had her doing it. Nona, if you listen to her reading the poems, you could say like no one could have done it better. You know, she's someone who is trained to do that. Anaweka all the emotions 100% into the poem. At the end of the day, unaisikiza and you're like, wow. Like hata kuisoma is, ama mimi hata ningeisoma, ama mimi reading it in print could not match to the experience of listening to her read it. Is it Italian? Yes. Actually ni mbili, ni ventu niko na moja hapa.
How come?
This one. Bono, nkagenda my first book fair. Nairobi International Book Fair. Nkaenda, that was in 2023, I think. So, they had kitu ilikuwa inaitwa aje? Rights table. Rights table, they had different agents from different parts of the world. Omo agent no ukaenda ku represent your work out there. Actually, it works mostly in the European countries and America huko. Wewe ukiandika ama when you are an artist, your job yako inakuanga kutafuta agent. Agent ika saino kukoligeri publishers ama people who can produce your work. So I met that Italian lady anaitwanga Valeria Paolini. Nikamwambia I'm a writer. I write poetry. I write about women issues. Na akaniambia nitomere gasi yao nyerole. Wano nkamutomera Beautiful Mess na which has around 130 poems na this one. Hiyo time nilikuwa naita hiyo collection Sometimes Love Lives Here. Nkamutomera. Nchenga expecting atachukua poems 2-3 if she likes them. But she sent me an email akaniambia my publisher likes the work and we are going to translate the two collections. So they started with this one. So it's actually in English and Italian. Mtu mwenye learn Italian can buy the book. Ama someone who just wants to read in English can still buy the book.
No, wate mebuliogo chikobeka kucheseme nuende mea.
Yes.
Una munuki.
French, Kiswahili. Yeah, but sasa what happens now that I'm traditionally published, my publisher does everything. If there's any translation that we are going to do, yeye ndiye atatafuta translator ama a publisher who can do that.
Wene kobeka mwitawe byagasomo nweke gusi. Na bantu twikiringa kia CPC gusi CBE. Etabu nekega munano muno yego kelika sike gusi.
If there is someone who can translate that nenda akole igo, I would love that. Senge nchuna nchomete ndrongo ikana na ligireri naroranga umete kegusingo sirakere. Senge ncho abana babona iga etoko basomi in Kiswahili ni Gisongo. Ntori go appreciate our mother tongue. Usenende notaka umwana wasoma ibitabu bieke gusi kobirigi you must know someone who knows someone. Ese bigo toka nende bona iga mbiri bingi. Yeah, so it would be good for the books to be in that language.
Ayo manyana kirogo tari bintu biri byawo no kunya kugasia mangana kwali kanse. Ogani kunya likaseke gusi.
Ningani.
Jotali kire asike gusi.
Mwetege.
Mashairi aya ochipoemo gichensi. Ekotero kakitoro kama mashairi chipoemo mashairi poemo gesonge kegusi.
Emotive na kuruko.
Nogani kuli kama ngana ayo nsinya beka seke gusi.
Umete umomori kinaro romo gusi. Akoro kubera umocha. Ndiraringe, I think she wrote something and akasema, I think in English, I write in English. Umetena njenga realize this time we went to Germany and we had this nini panel discussion and we were talking umuntu akambolinga, do you write ama think in your mother tongue? Umetenga realizing I think in English, and I was so embarrassed. I read so many English books, and I find that my thoughts, even when I'm describing something, it's so easy for me to find an English word for it than it is for me to find an Ekegusi word for it.
So, ngeta uyosoma bwana.
When I'm reading Anxious People by Frederick Backman.
What is the storyline there?
Ndo nimeanza kusoma, but it is mostly Frederick Backman akiandika vitabu zake is about an angle that most people don't think about, from an old man, from a young boy, and how actually they see things. Umete style nero kuigwa ama ukorolense, but you never talk about it. Ama there are some fears you have, but you don't talk about them. You don't express yourself. So amemanage kutuonyesha hiyo angle. So I like that because I get to experience different worldviews and different ways of thinking.
Ebitabu byagosoma gogosoma ebitabu bikogenda na fiction byoka gosengo somole bya science gosomole n'abantu bakarto kwa na chi films ntubate action ntubate biopic ntubate rero kwa na ngani bitabu ntubate autobiography ntubate inspirational books ntubate story books ntubate oral literature and such. What a specific category of some bitabu sankende yons?
No, I read everything. I read fantasy, I read fiction, I read poetry. Yes, I read everything. As long as the way mwandishi ameandika is interesting and captures my attention, I will read it. I read autobiographies, memoirs, yeah.
Ingakirire weka abantu ba unabona yakinga kia siasa ndizo konyara abantu ndibade kuri kimigano yabo usoro kandi ndokonyara ina family setup bagotaka bali kumugano b'umuntu gete gosendere bakonyara umuntu abwata mangana takonyara kujya koti y'umuntu amurikire kwatemere kurikira abantu bande.
Our ghostwriting?
Yes.
I'm actually working on a project for someone. Yes.
Muntu riskaro kandi uwikera karoke natagete muri has como wena mokonya kulika
na bako ndi social media. Scholastica Moraa. Yes.
Utuchukuri gukora ebintu kiwasomire igoro ya mangana yo kulika mangana na kwabere gukunya kulika kera aiga kwa aberiro gwakorire gitiringero gyo kunya kulika ebitabu kunya koba ando cia soko ba mono enjina rero gutwara ibintu getogosoma sobugima kwana ngibintu bitatu gwasomire asega si yoboriki
ege ntege tanga nasomire chaka kendi kenso tetokora chaka njomete nalenge wete bikalenga. Writing is my retirement plan. Ngoja kulika igo kinde go 60 70, but you are not sure that utafika 60 ama 70. Start now. Kendi kenso tetokora anya ne skuru tetokoirana. Start making plans chokuirana skuru yibona iga nani kitabu tetokolika. Start writing the first word. today. Tako na go postpone kuna gotebanga niche chake mambindi. Yeah.
And the yakabere?
We're going to Kelinga. Opportunities are everywhere. Destiny help us imbaro ororo. Lakini kerogo cha kobanyora, will you be ready? When I met when our publishers chino umirani na chirochio the translator mwenye nimekutana na yeye na alingo cha kuumira na nere mutavinga njano murikira kini tinda alika kitabu oma timbu ati anything to show for it timbu ati no any manuscript inko moro kinga nga eje igaligereli taninge gocha gonkonya lakini when the opportunity ama the destiny helper met me, I was ready. Yeah.
Kendeka gatito?
Igendo kia gatito ndateven Kelinga, have a community. Andonse sore binadamu haezi ishi peke yake. The people you meet, your friends, your family, have strong relations with them. Yeah, it is good to have a community as a human being. Senzo kerobwata bako ngubonde bwensi na babantu bagocha bagokonya. Kerobwata none event na babantu bagocha baikaransi. Mwente na bora tware event nende onde tacha. Oro simba kiendagara lakini onde tacha. Yeah. It is good to have good relationships.
No ri na organization ekoenda na mangana yoboli kubita kwinje kulika.
Na an organization.
And yonsi go say a group go kama nyaketali bwate group yabo. So go chaba ali mumba bwate group yabo. Abali kinori none of those geranto bwate African te bagate ba remember ngakine ba bwate Kenyan writers mali bago chaba African what others and such. Or in none of those associations.
Yeah, we have like I am in several Kenyan author groups, but I don't think we have something Natura tebeng LSK kono nini yao. We don't.
Ekioge konya. Gusinchira kiyago konya na sukulika kwao. Suna inchira yokwe market. Inchira yago konyira.
Yeah. Esengenchomete most authors like events zikifanyika. Hizi panel discussions, festivals zikifanyika. The only way you can know about them ama get to be involved in them ama sell your books there is through those communities. Yeah, the people you know are very important.
Owate banga ego wikinga kigete kwaba triggered kwali kegento. Kurutoka chalete kwano kwa very triggered njirende yose.
Yeah.
Ngiora gani kulika bona.
I think things that would motivate people. I think as much as people say we have a lot of motivation books and stories and all that, I think that there's still more that can be done.
Wono gonko echiteka ngora lika chite paragraph ya.
Yeah.
Nenya roko ko Diana. Diana mosoma monyaka nyara nako.
Yeah, she's my friend.
Diana tukanyara na agacheni studio. Kama can you write something?
Akarika.
Yes, karika paragraph ya. I know it's not
I'm not going to write a poem today. Yeah.
What are you going to write?
I'm going to write something. Just sometimes you start writing and then that is when you realize how it is going to be. Unumetena wangu sa akolike story bona iga, lakini noni the ending will surprise me. Because sometimes when you start, the characters have their own life. The poem has its own life. You can start a line like this, lakini hata mwisho hata wewe you didn't plan it to go like that.
Kwanya kwalengera ligonchore bitao byao byokulika into a movie. Roje my crew here, these are filmmakers. My team here, these are filmmakers.
When I write a novel.
Okay.
Yes.
And then from there we might enjoy into the script, the screenplay. Now, give me your 5 favorite authors you love reading their work.
Maya Angelou is my favorite. Yes.
Ekioge.
Rupi Kaur. Warsan Shire. Yvonne Adhiambo. Frederick Backman.
Wikire batano.
Kenya gose bantu wansi.
Ono kuna nchwanga Makenya bo wasabu wansi bwa kwani Makenya nayo mubweka. Bande wansi kinguru isiko. Bona ndage tonga mu Kenya, ongoya mo from Europe, ongoya ndekuru America, ongoya ndekuru Australia.
Kenya, Empress Shiko Kimani. Yeah, Alexander Nderitu. Munira Hussein. Vero Mocha.
By the way, Vero Mocha very mugusiali.
Mugusi.
Ngai yago tukananya kusoma vitabu byaye. Ngai bigo tuke vitabu byaye.
Nimesoma 2.
Lakini yago toka.
Ako tu Nairobi.
Yes. Ukata namba yaye?
Yes.
You will connect me to Vera.
I will.
I don't know. Never know limanya tigos. I don't know. Wakwani naba Kenya bakira bane. From Australia.
Okay, Australia I may not know how it wanatoka wapi, but I also love John Grisham. Yes.
From European countries. America.
Inaweza kuwa nimesoma books zao
lakini
tokumanya
usenge
okay. Yeah. But I love pia Nigerian authors. Yes.
Oh, by the way, utwakwa na Kenya, tuacha twakwa na Kenya, twatiga aba Africa, twatiga Ghana.
Nigerians na bangi sana bakolika.
Bunango
Damilole. Kuna mwenye ameandika The Secret Lives of Baba Segi's Wives. Yeah,
Ghana.
Oyinkan Brathwaite. Wengi. Ghana nero it's rich in literature. Yeah.
Great. Abona tochikora kore mu buli wetu kuri rero kana mu bodi ibindi bitata somera so bugima yagorukana Scholastica Moraa onye turasome bitabu byaye abakunyara kaboko bunyara numayita magoli bitabu nebi kere bindi bitabu bitwana bya
magoli 300 shillings each. Hizo za watoto. Hizi ni around 400, hizo za grade 5 and 6. Yeah, When Love Says Goodbye ndio inaenda 650 to 780 depending on the bookshop. Yeah, hiyo Zero Tolerance ya junior secondary ni around 1200.
Ngo kutoka tia abantu ngagenda ngase bookshop Alliance nyara kubukuri utabi yango kunyara kubukuri nyora.
Lakini yekeninche bweka ngokiona.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why?
Because mostly iko Amazon na inauzwa huko Italian countries and all that, but sasa I shipped some copies zenye niko nazo.
Wewe unakuja labda ikira ngiri songo kina Italian.
Eke English umuntu anaweza kusoma songo na kusoma.
But ikindo chikiri Italian ngaki.
See the cover, but every poem each page ni English, Italian, English,
Italian. So it has both.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. Ono to chokoro mu buli buli tsikoli ari ranya gukugani gitabu kendi yonse yasebi abakunyara ko bagokulika ukugenda se bookshop ene yose lakini kuoraga ni karo kende kugamba amona Scholastica then abaguturikira gapa se comment section unyara ko bokulika kurororo I'm very sure nanda abakunyara ko bokuligiria abasatu na sorobi abakunyara ko bakako get in touch nyakaro kende gutagita kumwegasi usimuze takora biasira bindi byonse tetekora kunyuriga ngago tugochikuri gukora mbiyemo no kemasoko ligiria nembiyemo no kemaso okoyera chinga kichawa na bokoya ndoto rekera comment na bokoya ndoto you can share and make sure ngo get notification bell indi nyakaba kwa ntre kama kutoka ntre mu bilionde egana chenye ganete nganga ki Ekioge ni okigotiri Ekioge muna bogo muntu agotiri muntu ndo kachinga kichinde tigarabye
Ekioge yetieri Kenya Ekioge gotiria Ekioge Kenya